Welcome to Swoop Yoga, and thank you for joining me today. This class is a very gentle yoga session and ideal for beginners if it's your first time, or if you just would like a nice gentle stretch today. The word yoga means unity, and that means connecting with your body. The question I get asked the most is, do I need to be flexible for yoga? And the answer is no, as long as you're listening to your body and not pushing it too far. If you experience pain at all, you're not doing yoga. So it should feel like stretching, might be slightly uncomfortable at times, but if you can use your breath to kind of stay with the stretch, then do so. But equally, just ease off the pose as well. So just make sure you're listening and connecting with your body, and only go as far as feels comfortable. So we're going to start the session with just 3 breaths. So if you can have a nice comfortable seated position, that might be cross-legged, but equally it might be your feet stretched out in front of you as well, whatever feels good. As long as you can have a nice tall spine, drop the shoulders away from the ears. Imagine your crown of your head is being lifted towards the sky. And if you're happy to close your eyes, then do so, or just have a soft gaze in front of you. And we're going to inhale in through the nose, fill up the belly, fill up the lungs, pause at the top, and then out through the mouth. And we'll do that twice more, trying to get the breath to the bottom of the belly. So inhale, fill up the belly, fill up the lungs, feel them expand, pause, and out through the mouth. And one more of those breaths in your own time. Very good. And open your eyes. And we're going to start in a tabletop position. So we're going to bring the shoulders above the hands, the hips above the knees, and you can just have your feet flat. And we're going to drop the belly down towards the floor, gaze up to the sky and inhale. And then we exhale, rounding through the spine, bringing the gaze towards the navel. And just repeating that pattern with the breath. Drop the belly, look up, inhale. And exhale, rounding through, looking towards the navel. And just using your own breath, sticking with the same movement of cat-cow. Good, and then we're going to get a bit playful with the movement here. So we're going to circle the hips round towards the heels, bring them to the left side of the mat, and then bringing the hips towards the hands, round to the right. So just making really big circles. Just any kind of movement which feels good to kind of loosen up the hips, bringing a bit of heat in towards the hands as well, as we kind of bring our weight forwards. And then you can change direction. Also kind of getting a bit of movement into the shoulders. Good, and then coming back into that neutral tabletop position. And then we're just going to tuck the toes, and then we're going to slightly hover the knees off the mat. So just bringing a bit of engagement into the core, and then we can sort of shift our weight over to the right, to the top, over to the left side of the mat, and back, and then just bringing back into the center, just really keeping that core engaged, pushing down through the palms of the hands, the fingers, and then drop the knees back down to the floor. And then we can step the left foot back, so extending the left foot long with the toes tucked under, and then we're just going to rock gently back and forth on the left toes, so we're getting a bit of stretch into the left calf muscle. And then we're going to hover that left foot off the ground, so bringing the left leg into the air, and again really kind of pushing down through all the fingers and the thumb as well. And then we're going to shift our weight over to the left hand and extend the right arm out in front of us. We're going to inhale, reach the right arm, the left foot away from each other. And as we exhale, we're going to bring the elbow and the knee to meet under the body. So we're going to inhale, reach, and exhale round through. And inhale, reach, and exhale round. And one more of those, really extending the arm and hand away from each other and rounding through. Good. Placing the left knee, the right hand back down, and then we'll extend the right leg out behind, the right toes tucked. So with the toes on the floor, we're just going to gently rock back and forth, getting some movement into the back of the right leg, the right heel, the calf. And then we're going to lift that right foot into the air, shifting into that right hand as well, the weight, and then extending the left arm out in front of us. So we inhale, reach away, and exhale, rounding through elbow to knee. Inhale, reach, and exhale, round. And one more, inhale, reach, exhale, round. Okay, final one. Inhale, extend, exhale, round. Good. Planting the knee, the left hand back down into that tabletop position. And then from here, we're going to bring the knees to the outside edge of the mat with the tops of the feet onto the floor. We're going to drop the bum back towards the heels, and then we're going to reach the arms out, extended towards the top edge of the mat. So we're going to come into child's pose here. You can either stack your fists and have your forehead resting on your fist, maybe one or two, but if you have flexibility in your shoulders, you can try and bring your forehead all the way down to the mat. Just keeping in this position, just letting everything go. See if you can feel the expansion, contraction of the rib cage. And then we're going to walk the hands over to the left-hand side of the mat. So stretching into the right ribs. And then we're going to walk the hands back through center and over to the right hand side of the mat, stretching into the left rib cage. And then walking the hands back through center, and one last time dropping the forehead down towards the floor in this extended child pose. Good. And then we're going to come back up into our tabletop position. And this time we're going to bring the fingers so they're pointing back towards the knees, and just getting a bit of gentle stretch into the forearms. So again, listening to your body, only go as far as feels comfortable, but sort of making gentle rocking back and forth so you can feel that stretch into the forearms. Okay, and then bring the hands back to where they were in our tabletop. From here, we're going to tuck the toes under, and then we're going to come into our first downward facing dog. So lifting the hips up towards the sky. We're trying to push our chest down towards our thighs, pushing through the fingers, the palms of the hands, and then you can bend and straighten one leg at a time. So we're trying to bring the heels towards the floor, but if that doesn't work for you, then just again go as far as feels like a good stretch in the backs of your legs. And then we're going to walk the hands towards the feet and coming into a forward fold position. So we can have the hands just kind of hanging loose. You can also cradle the elbows, but again, letting the head kind of drop towards the floor. The chest comes towards the knees. And just connecting with your breath here in this forward fold. And then we can have a gentle sort of swing around to the left-hand side of the legs. And back through centre. And then moving around to the right-hand side of the legs. And then back to centre. And then really slowly we can release the elbows, just have the hands hanging down towards the floor, and vertebra by vertebra, we're going to come up into a standing position. Nice and slow and gentle. And then coming to a nice tall stand, dropping the shoulders away from the ears. And then we're going to spread the toes out, bringing the feet sort of hip distance apart, and then really kind of engaging through the legs, through the core, dropping the shoulders away from the ears, having the palms of the hands facing forwards. And just connecting with the breath here. And then we're going to inhale, reach up towards the sky. And exhale, bringing the hands into prayer position. We're going to come back down into that forward fold position. We're going to inhale, bring the hands towards the shins and looking up so we have a nice flat back. And then as we exhale, we're going to walk the hands forwards and we're going to come into a plank position. And from here, we're just going to drop the knees down onto the mat. And then we exhale, lower the body all the way down. So the torso, the chest comes down onto the mat. We can stack the palms and have the forehead just resting on top of the hands. And then we're going to bring the fingertips to the outside edges of the mat with the elbows slightly lifted. And then we're going to inhale, just peeling the chest slightly off the ground. And then exhale, we're going to lower the forehead back down. So inhale, peeling the chest up. And exhale, lower. Inhale up. And exhale down. And then we're going to bring the hands underneath the shoulders. And we're going to inhale, lift the torso up off the mat. And as we exhale, we tuck the toes, lift the hips towards the sky, maybe walk the feet slightly closer in. And then again, through the hands, we'll try to push the chest back towards the thighs. We can bend and straighten one leg at a time. And from here, we're going to look towards the hands. We're going to bring the back left foot towards the center of the mat with the toes pointing towards the top left corner. And we're going to step the right foot up in between the hands. If you need to guide your foot with your hands, then do so. And we're going to inhale, lifting the body so we're standing upright, extending the arms away from each other. And sinking down into that right knee. And just connecting with the breath here. So really reaching the fingertips away from each other. Shoulder blades are coming together. And then we inhale, straighten that right front leg, lifting the right arm to the sky. Left hand drops down the back of the left thigh into reverse warrior. Breathing into the right rib cage. reaching that hand further away. And then coming back into our warrior two, sinking down into that right hip, making sure the knee is in line with the toes, reaching the hands away. And again, straightening that right leg. Inhale, reaching the right hand to the sky. And back into one more warrior two. And then we're going to bring the hands so they're framing that front foot, stepping the right foot back in towards our plank. Now you can either drop the knees or you can keep them lifted if you want more of a challenge. We're going to lower all the way down to the mat, and this time we're just inhaling for upward facing dog, and exhale, tuck the toes so we're coming back into our downward facing dog. Just walking the dog here. And then we'll take it to the other side. So looking towards the hands, we're going to bring that right foot into the middle, toes pointing towards the top right corner, stepping the left foot in between the hands and coming up into warrior two on the other side. So sinking into that front left knee, arms are reaching away from each other, keeping the left knee in line with the left toes. And then we inhale, straighten that front left leg, reaching the left arm to the sky, right hand drops down the back of the right leg. And then coming back into warrior two, really sinking into that left front knee, the left hip. And again, reaching that left arm up, straightening the left leg, breathing into the left rib cage. One more time into warrior two, sinking into that left hip. And then we're bringing the hands down either side of the front left foot, stepping back into our plank position. And again, feel free to drop the knees here, lowering the torso all the way down. Inhale for upward dog, and exhale for downward dog. And from here, we're going to drop the knees into our child pose once again. So make sure the knees are nice and wide apart, walking the hands towards the top edge of the mat and bring the forehead down towards the floor. Just connecting with the breath here for a moment. And then bringing that position back into the tabletop position. And from here, we're just going to step the left foot up towards the top left edge of the mat. So maybe kind of walking it to the outside edge. And then we're going to push into that right palm and bring the left hand to the left knee. We're just going to sort of gently press open that left knee. So you should be feeling this in the right hip. And then from here, we're going to bring the hands back down towards the mats and just see if we can slightly dip the chest lower towards the mat. It might be if you have lots of flexibility, you can come down onto your elbows, but maybe today just kind of being on the hands is enough, but kind of bringing the chest slightly lower down. And then pushing the chest back up, we're going to straighten that left leg, bring the left toes towards the sky. And as we inhale, we're going to extend through the spine. And as we exhale, we're going to fold from the hips. So keeping the spine nice and straight, but just seeing if we can sink slightly lower over the left leg. So if you have really tight hamstrings, you might be quite high. That's absolutely fine. Just stay with the breath. And see if on the exhale, you can bring the chest slightly closer towards the leg, but only going as far as feels comfortable. Good, then we're going to bend that left knee once again. We're going to push into the right palm, and we're going to inhale and extend through the left arm so it's reaching up to the ceiling. And as we exhale, we're going to feed the left hand underneath the right shoulder. So we inhale, reach the left hand to the sky, and exhale, thread the needle underneath the left shoulder. And one more time, inhale, reach, and exhale, thread. Good, then we'll step the left foot back, so we're just in our tabletop position, and then we'll just swap over so the right foot comes to the outside edge of the mat. And then from here, we're going to bring the right hand to the right knee and gently pressing that knee open. So maybe rolling onto the outside edge of the right foot. Just using the breath to breathe into those hips. And then bringing the hands back down. And again, slowly lowering the chest towards the floor. And again, it might be that this side you can get down onto your elbows, or you might just want to stay on your hands, come down onto one elbow, staying with the breath, breathing into that right hip. And then pushing the chest back up, we're going to straighten that right leg so the right toes point towards the sky. And we inhale, extend through the spine. And as we exhale, we're folding forwards from the hips, bringing the chest closer towards that right leg. Okay, and then bending that right knee, having the left hand pressed down. Inhale, reaching that right arm up towards the sky. And as we exhale, we're threading the right arm underneath the left shoulder. Inhale, reach. And exhale, thread. Inhale, reach. And exhale, thread. Good, then stepping that right foot back, coming back into tabletop position. And we're going to keep the hips lifted, but we're going to step the hands forwards and then bringing the chest, the forehead down towards the floor. So this is our puppy pose. It might be again that you have your fists stacked, one or two fists, or you can bring your forehead all the way down to the floor. And then pushing back up into tabletop position, we're going to come into a seat from here. So we're going to extend the right leg out in front, bring the left foot to the inside of the right thigh, turning the chest, it faces the right toes, which are pointed to the sky. And we inhale, lift the spine, top of the head towards the sky. And as we exhale, we're keeping that spine nice and straight, folding from the hips, bringing the torso down towards the knee. And you can just have the hands resting on either side of the leg. If you have lots of flexibility, you might be able to reach all the way around to the base of your foot. Again, just doing whatever feels good for your body today. Inhale, coming back up, and we'll swap sides. So the left leg is extended, right foot towards the inside of the left thigh. It might be that it's more comfortable towards the left calf, whatever feels good. Inhale, extend through the spine, and exhale, folding from the hips, bringing that chest towards the left leg. And inhale, coming back up. And then we'll come into butterfly pose. So we're going to have the soles of the feet coming in together and the knees falling apart. And again, you can have your feet further out in front if that feels more comfortable. And if you hold onto the ankles, you can use the elbows on the inside of your thighs to kind of press them open. And again, we inhale, lift the chest, extend the spine. And exhale, bring that chest closer towards the feet. So if you can really use the elbows to kind of gently prise the thighs apart, feeling that stretch in the hips. And release. And our last sort of stretch on the floor as we extend the left foot long, bring the right foot to the outside edge of the left thigh. We're going to use the hook of the elbow to kind of squeeze that right thigh in. Inhale, extend through the spine. And as we exhale, we're going to bring the right hand out behind us and twist to look over the right shoulder. So we should feel that stretch in the right glute, outside of the right leg. If you want to deepen the stretch, you can bring the elbow to the outside of the right thigh and give you more of a twist. Good, and release. And swap sides, right leg is extended. Bring the left foot to the outside of the right thigh. Hook in with the right elbow, the left knee. Inhale, extend through the spine. And as we exhale, we twist and turn, look over the left shoulder. And again, if you want more of a stretch, we can use the right elbow, the outside, the left thigh. And release. And we're going to come down onto our backs. So we can hug the knees into the chest, making a small ball, kind of gently rocking from side to side. And then if we plant the feet on the floor with the knees bent, bring the arms out to either side. You can just have them extended or on a goalpost, drop the head down. And then we're going to drop the knees towards the left side of the mat and turn and look over the right shoulder. And bringing the knees up through center and drop the knees over to the right and look over the left shoulder. And then bringing the knees back to center, and we'll hug the knees, bring the nose up towards the knees, make a ball for one last time. And then we're going to extend the legs long, the arms long, bringing the shoulder blades towards each other underneath the body. If you can try and have the palms of the hands facing towards the sky. And then just let everything go. Let it all relax. Let the feet just flop to either side. And just take this time to reconnect with your breath. Can you just watch the rise and fall of the chest? Does your breath reach the bottom of your tummy? Can you relax all the muscles around your shoulders? Relax your jaw. Relax all the muscles in your face. And if you want to pause the video here to enjoy this Shavasana if you have the time, then please do so. Then bringing your attention into your hands, bring the attention into your feet, and slowly wiggling the fingers, wiggling the toes, and then bending the knees and turning over onto your right side, and in slow time coming up to a seat. So we'll just finish with one last inhale of reaching the hands up to the sky, and exhale, bringing the hands to your heart. Namaste. Thank you for practicing yoga with me. There will be more videos on the way. This will be a weekly upload of a new video for Swoop Yoga. Thanks for joining.